Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey, it's Mondo. Hey, Mondo Homunculero. Boy, I got a good one for you today, folks. Now, I'm going to tell you something. There's some of us who do these little podcasts or video casts, whatever the hell you want to call them, online on a regular basis. Now, I've been off for over a week, so if you bailed on me, that's okay. I understand. We all have attention span stuff. Anyway, here's why I'm here today, and it's one particular topic, okay? There's a blame and guilt and shame game going on between the Republicans and the Democrats, and it's been going on forever, ever since the Democrats dropped the Democratic Republican name, the Whigs came, then the Republican Party formed, and so nowadays we have the Democratic Party and we have the Republican Party. Now, what these parties like to do is blame each other for what's wrong in the country. Okay, they do it all the time. That's what they like to do. Okay, and they constantly do it. The Republicans are worse than the Democrats because these days they've turned into a bunch of goddamn cowards. Okay, now a lot of the hosts out there, people spewing the kind of nonsense, they blame the hell out of the Democrats, even though they claim to be leftists. Okay, well, let's face it. Most of the Democratic Party is centrist. It is not really leftist. Okay, we do have the DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, within the Democratic Party, and the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. This is the one hope. Now, excuse me. Okay, so Cenk Uygur came out with a book a while back. I forget the name of it. I read it. It's a good book. And it does bring out the populist. I hate that word. I hate populist crap because it usually is a ruse. But the progressive agenda. Now, most Americans, most voters want the progressive agenda. Well, most of you bastards, 77 million of you, bought into Trump, okay, for one reason or another, mostly because you thought he was going to fix stuff when he had a proven track record of not being able to fix anything, and he got convicted of 34 felonies. He is a convicted felon, you guys. He's not this great leader who's going to bring all this great stuff to us. No. And you listen to him, and he thinks he's got a fucking comedy show. No, he's not funny. He never has been funny. He's become this grotesque piece of shit. Actually, I am actually defaming feces by calling him shit. Okay? He's lower than that, if there is a lower way to go. If there was a hell below, he would have been the first to go. Okay, so people want to blame the Democrats. This is the Republicans blaming the Democrats for everything now. Blame Trump. Blame the Democrats for everything. Okay, so Democrats do bear some responsibility. The thing of it is, though, all Trump had to do was put his shit on automatic pilot when he got elected. Just keep going and make progressive improvements to things, and we would be in fantastically great economic shape now. And the lower third of the economic spectrum was improving. They were improving more than the middle class. And then the upper 10%, like they said, it's a K-shaped economy. The upper 10% was improving more than anybody. And they were actually floating the economy through their consumerism, through their buying. Okay? And that doesn't work. That's not a good long-range strategy. It's still what is going on. You know, during Black Friday, I think we had a 4% increase over last year in retail sales. That's great. That's wonderful for retailers. I'm wondering how much of that was due to price increase, though. Okay. Unit increase, I think, was there also. However, I think price increase had a lot to do with it. So the problem in the country right now for voters, for citizens, and everybody that lives here, regardless of whether they're a non-citizen or a citizen, and I don't want to talk about illegal immigrants and all that crap. They're citizens and non-citizens, okay? The non-citizens, they are part of the consumer economy also, just like citizens are, okay? So We have the two parties and we have the voters. Okay. Well, blame is bullshit because, okay, Republicans, you want to blame Biden administration for all the woes that we're experiencing economically now. Well, inflation's going up because of Trump. Why did inflation increase under Biden? Okay, two reasons. The number one reason is what happened economically during the pandemic, at least the first 2/3 of it. And who was the president then? Trump. So he bears the responsibility for about 2/3 of what happened with inflation, rising costs, all that kind of shit, because he was a total bozo. He was a complete fail economically during the pandemic. So who inherited what? Well, the Biden administration inherited that. And I'm not defending them because they made some wrong moves too. They did a lot of spending. That drove up inflation also. Okay? So there you go. There is the responsibility. Now, you have blame. Blame is bullshit because it boils down to responsibility. And then after that, it boils down to who can make things better, who can change things. Well, Republicans have to change things if they want things to change. They have to change things, right? Okay. They have to change things, not the Democrats. The Democrats are not in power. Republicans hold the goddamn Supreme Court, which is a total shit show nowadays. And it's not a shit show because of the whole court. It's a shit show because 6 out of 9 are cretins that have no business being there, including John Roberts. Then you have the legislature, and that's controlled, House and Senate, by Republicans. Whose fault is that? Okay, where's the responsibility there to change things? Well, the Republicans, if they want to change things and make things better for the people, which they never, hardly ever do, really, since probably Eisenhower, and Eisenhower was a Democrat in Republican clothing. That's really, he just continued the good work that was done, okay, during FDR. That was his value, okay? So really since then, now Reagan did not do anything good for us, for the people. Reagan buffaloed everybody, and his buffaloing resulted in a lot of the blue-collar workers switching their party affiliation and voting wrong-headedly. They became addle-headed politically. Well, people say, I hate politics. Why do you hate politics? Because it doesn't go your way. That's why we hate most things, because they don't go our way. Well, the Republicans are not going to do things our way for the vast majority of us. They're going to always favor the upper 10%, with the second 10% getting the rest of the benefit, and then the rest of us basically being bent over with no lubricant. Okay? So that's what's going on. So let's get down to blame. Blame doesn't solve anything. Taking responsibility for the situation is what resolves things. And this is where the fail is. The responsibility to fix things is with the Republicans right now. Where is the responsibility really lie? Well, why are things the way they are? Because 77 million of you bastards voted for Trump. And I'm not going to apologize for this. I'm not sorry. You are responsible. So what do you got to do? I mean, it's useless to stand there and point the finger with the FAFO, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Because you're finding out and you don't like it. And the reason why is because you voted for it. You voted for the mess, you 77 million. You voted for that no good son of a bitch that's the president. You voted in your local areas for the Congress people. You voted for the goddamn senators, okay? You're the ones that are responsible to change things in 2026. And just voting in a new House is not going to fix it. It's going to stop Trump. It's going to make him even more of a lame duck. That he's lame. God, is he lame? I hate to insult ducks by calling him a duck, a lame duck. He's worse than that. This guy is a total bozo. And most of us who didn't vote or who voted for Kamala Harris in the last election knew that. We've known this guy is a bozo. I think a lot of people voted for this guy because they thought he would really he didn't get a fair shake last time. Well, this time he really had a fair shake. He had a great economy, which was the envy of the world, to pick up on and run with. And he didn't. What does he do? He screws things up worse. He totally turns it into a shit show with these tariffs and this stupid cutting of vital, essential agencies at the federal level under the executive branch. He fucked everything up, and you guys voted for it. So it's your responsibility, voters, to get out there and vote and get these bastards out. And we need to especially get them out of the Senate. We can't fix what's wrong in the Supreme Court without having a majority in all three branches. We have to have a majority, okay? Well, we're not going to get a majority at SCOTUS until we can load the court. We need to flood the court. We need to make the court 13 or 15. And we also need to get rid of the lifetime crap. Yeah, and it needs to be actually an interchange between the higher level courts, between the different circuit courts. And those people need to matriculate into the Supreme Court for, I would say, 6 years, and then out and back to the circuit court if they want to stay a judge. Okay? That's my proposal. I know it is probably the more correct proposal. We don't have any other proposals. There's no proposal from the Republicans for health care. Did you think that they were going to make one? Did you think there was going to be something that was going to be worth your while? No, because anything short of 100% coverage, Medicare for all, is useless, worthless, not worth their time. Yeah, you let the private insurance stay on. Of course you do, okay? Of course you do, because there's people that think that's going to be better and they're going to want it. Let me tell you, I had private insurance for years, and Medicare, plus my little supplement, which isn't shit. I hate the fact that my employer has to pay for it. That's the best health care I ever had in my life. Yeah. And I've been on insurance since I was a youngster. So Republicans aren't going to do anything. Democrats actually did some things, and some of those things were very good. Republicans, why are they not doing anything? Because that's what they always do. Nothing. And then Democrats have to come in and fix it. Now, this sounds very pro-Democrat. It's not. There's a lot of Democrats on the donor take. But today, the gals over at I've Had It, they made a huge blunder. Now, they generalize way too much. You can't generalize. Say, well, the Democrats are weak. They're all a bunch of weak, whatever. No, they're not. There's progressive Democrats who are constantly fighting. There's ones that don't cave in at all. So it's not all the Democrats, okay? It's a lot of the Democrats who are corporate Democrats and who are on the take from their donors. That's the ones we have to get rid of. We have to vote them out. Republicans, all on the take. No bones about it. They don't try to hide it. They are only for business and not for the people. And let me tell you something. If there were no workers, there wouldn't be any business, despite what I think is misinformation about AI taking over. I don't think it's going to, because it isn't that great. It's good. I use it. It's a better search engine than any of the search engines on the internet, because it utilizes all the information on the internet to give you answers. I asked it today. I asked AI today, DuckGo AI. I asked it who takes the majority of donations from the healthcare insurance industry, Democrats or Republicans? Republicans. And the girls over at I've Had It, they tried to say that Democrats were the main ones. They're not. Now, you gals over there, I love you. You're funny. You rip Trump a new asshole on a regular basis, several times a day, and I love it. It just brightens my day. However, you got to get clear with your facts, ladies. Jen, especially. Quit the fucking generalizing and stop and have facts in front of you. The real facts that are up to date. That's what you need to do. And you voters, hey man, it's your responsibility to change things, because the Republicans, you're not going to vote in Republicans that are going to change things. There's no progressive Republicans anymore. There's no Nelson Rockefellers, although he was pretty tainted. There's none of those guys. There's no Eisenhower. No. There's none of the progressive, like, who was it? John Lindsay, the mayor of New York. There's nobody like that. No, they're not. And if they are, they're so cowardly and sucking up to the orange pus bag that things are not going to work. That's enough out of me on this. Voters, it's your responsibility in 2026 and 2028 to change things and make sure that I'm gonna vote for people that I vet. Okay, it's your responsibility to do the vetting. If you really want lower prices, if you really want all these things to change, you got to do your goddamn homework. How do you expect to pass the 5th grade at the reading level? You got to read better. You got to read more. You got to get the facts. And if you're going to vote, be informed. Please, please, everybody. I'm not running you down. You made a mistake. 77 million of you made a huge mistake. We can correct that mistake. Let's get out 85 or 90 million and vote these fuckers out. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Y'all have a great weekend if I don't talk to you before then. This is Mondo. Say